Hi everyone, it's Paula. It's 4 weeks since I did my last video, and as you can probably tell, there's been a bit of a marked difference from where I was at back then. I'm suffering the COVID long haul symptoms like many of you out there, and I also have had ME for 24 years. And I know that many of you are really worried about the symptoms that you've got, about the post-viral situation, and whether you're actually going to end up with ME. I hope for your sake that's not the case, and there's no reason to suggest it will be. And over the years, I've obviously tried many things. And to be honest, it's been primarily a holistic approach that's worked best for me. So before I got COVID, I was in a really good place as far as the ME was concerned, better than I've been in a long time. So the holistic approaches I've taken really since November 2009, I felt like I really wanted to share with everybody else, because something might resonate, might be something that you want to try. So my plan really is health and well-being taken into consideration, to maybe come on each week and just take one holistic approach at a time, and try and explain a little bit about what that is and what I've tried and why I tried it, really just to give you some insight. Hopefully be able to post the links to the various websites or organisations, resources, etc., so that you can then go and check it out for yourself. Keen to point out, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a holistic therapist or a nutritionist, I've got no background or qualifications in any of these things. I'm just me. I'm just an ordinary woman in her 50s who has years of experience with ME, sadly, and also long haul COVID symptoms, week 19 for me now. So, disclaimer out there that I'm not here giving medical advice. I'm not saying, oh, you've got to do this, this will work for you. What we've all got to remember is we're all unique. Everybody is different. And what I've kind of learned over the years is an understanding of how my body operates, of what's going wrong in my body, what I'm perhaps depleted in, anything that's sort of lacking that needs replacing. So that's kind of the message I'm wanting to put out to everybody else, is to find the resources and ways and means of getting to know your body. Find what works for you. Look at areas that may show where the problems are lying, things that can be easily addressed from a holistic point of view. The medical profession have for a long time not understood ME, and the same is obviously to be said for COVIDs. That's not necessarily their fault. You know, GPs try, but they don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge, the information to address this sort of long-term post-viral situation. And the rehabilitation recovery, I think, can be massively helped by taking a more holistic and sort of natural route. I'm involved in 3 groups on social media for COVID support, and I've tried to offer advice and suggestions to people on there because of my background and my experience. The key right from early on, I was trying to say to people, you've got to rest, you've got to pace, you've got to take it easy, don't be too quick to go back to life and work and exercise, etc. And I know how frustrating it is to have come from a place of being busy and active with your health, and then suddenly have the rug pulled from under you and be so debilitated that even just getting out of bed into the bathroom in the morning feels like you've been asked to climb Everest. But you will get there. I took ill in 96 with common cold, didn't recover. It took a year to get my diagnosis to say it was ME. Back then it was a case of, this is what you've got, We don't understand it. There's no treatment, there's no cure. Just go away and manage it yourself. That was it. I was offered physiotherapy, which I took, and one session put me in bed, major relapse, was so poorly, and refused to go back because I just knew that that wasn't right for my body. And I just bungled along with a busy household, 2 very young children, trying to just get on with it, which was incredibly difficult. And it took till 2009 till I stumbled upon the Perrin Clinic, for someone to sit down and tell me exactly what was happening, what was wrong, why it was going wrong. And it was just a light bulb moment and a massive turning point. But I'll explain more about that in one of the up and coming videos, hopefully. I really believe that if I'd have had the understanding and support and knowledge and treatment available to me back then in 96, I wouldn't be sat here saying to you, I've had ME for 24 years. I genuinely believe that understanding and knowing how to manage it early makes all the difference. And I can say that with some authority, in the sense that my daughter, unfortunately, at the age of 17, started to show symptoms of ME. Because of my situation, I picked on it quickly, and I was under the Perrin Clinic at that point. I'd met Raymond Perrin 6 months previously and was now having treatment and going through a bit of a rough time. So because of my situation and what I knew, she was able to get the diagnosis and get on a treatment plan, and 3 years later she had her life back, and she's fit and healthy and thriving with a fantastic job and a brilliant career, you know, and has a great life. And that was the difference between catching it early, diagnosing it early, and getting on the right treatment plan. Her being able to just completely rest and take time out. So obviously her age went in her favour, and her circumstances at the time went in her favour, but the early diagnosis and the pacing and the rest and the approach, I think, were key to getting her where she is today. Sadly, by the time I stumbled upon the clinic, a lot of damage had been done. My body was highly toxic, and it took a lot of coming back from. So at the end of the day, that's why I want to share. I'm speaking and meeting so many thousands of people on the Facebook groups that are struggling, and it's difficult to just add the odd post and to try and explain things. And I have to be careful because I'm also in recovery from long-term COVID, which has set me back massively. So I've got to pace myself too and remember to take my own advice, which is sometimes easier said than done. So I'm going to be cautious to not jump in and get carried away with all of this, but I am also excited to be able to share. And as I say, hopefully something will resonate. Hopefully something you hear or the links that you check out will be the right path for you to take on your road to recovery too. And the world will be a different place for you in no time at all. So if nothing else, I might be just someone that you can listen to, that you think, wow, she gets it. She's been there. She knows how it feels. The difficulties with life generally, the difficulties with accepting your limitations, how it affects family and relationships, and people that don't believe you, people that are like, oh, but you look fine, and oh, you're just a bit tired, or have these expectations of you. So even if it's just to hear that you're not alone, and I understand exactly how it feels, and maybe be able to just give a little bit of insight. So if nothing I say helps in the sense of pointing you in the right direction to therapies that might work for you, at least if nothing else, I can be a friend and a support and a just somebody to be there that understands. So I'll sign off now and hopefully be able to upload another video soon in starting going through the list of various things that I've tried one by one. It's a lot of pieces of a very big jigsaw that's taken time, but I believe it's really worth knowing about. And the Perrin Clinic and the GUPS programme, which I'll come back to independently in isolation in future videos, have really been quite key in getting me to where I am and now re-helping me deal with my COVID recovery. So in the meantime, till I post again, just take care of yourselves, make sure you rest, and really try to stay positive, because there is treatment and recovery out there, and you can be back to where you were with the right support and the right advice, but basically understanding and looking after your body. You're unique, and what works for me and somebody else may not work for you, but at least it might point you in the right direction and give you a path to follow. So all being well, I will post again. So take care. Bye for now.